Alrighty guys, so here's the actual box that it came with. It's up here. It got pretty bad reviews on some of the other brackets that they make. But this one here in particular had some pretty good reviews. Who knows, they may be fake. But we're gonna go ahead and test it out here, and this is what it came with. There you go. I guess this is to raise and drop this. And then we got a little bag of screws here. And it looks like a little felt pad. Rubber standoff there to protect the graphics card maybe. And the 5-volt ARGB connection. It's an extender in case you have to pull it off the motherboard and go to another device. All right, now let's get this baby installed and see if it's actually gonna work. I guess while we're here, might as well. I got this particular model here because it's gonna plug into the video card to my 3080 here. That way it can be controlled by my video card. So now we're gonna go ahead and kind of get this prepared to install. We wanna make sure it's clean, so we're gonna go ahead and try to run this here through the back. And we're gonna use these little things I got for cable management to kind of hold this cable in place so it looks real neat from this side. And it's gonna run up here, and hopefully we can hide the wire behind these radiator tubes and run it to the 5-volt connector there, the ARGB connector. Looks pretty bulky, but once behind it, we won't see it. Let's get this smaller one here. We're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to do it like this, so it can still remain hidden. There it is. Completed the back. So hopefully it looks pretty clean. There it is. You'd never know. Put one there, and then there we go. Looks pretty clean. We're gonna go ahead here and make a small little measurement there, as you can see, and then we'll compare it to the after, the bracket. So check it out. There's a little trick here you can do. Put some tape on this, make sure it has contact with them all. That way, when we loosen the screws on this side, we don't have these things falling. It'll make it a lot easier for us to install this bracket. So let's take off these screws here. The tape in the back should hold them up, hopefully. There it is. It seems to be working. Oops. There it is. Now let's get this bracket ready to install. This little deal here is what's going to actually increase the play to the video card, the support. That should give us enough pressure there. There it is, but make sure we push it up there as high as we can, to be honest, and tighten the shit out of it. Like, I mean, tighten it. Boom. Because it will probably sag if it's not really tight. And we gotta predict that it will sag a little bit, so we try to give it a little bit more up front. Can mitigate some of the expected sag. I'm gonna actually try to pick up the video card, and this will leave it a little tight just so it'll have some grip. actually looks a lot better. But we're gonna have to give it a little bit more push because it probably will sag just a bit. Looks like we're like right about 5 inches, the black rim. And then over here on this side, it looks about the exact same. So it looks like we have actually increased it and it has gone up. I noticed here when I was installing it that I had to tighten this up with some pliers because it needed a lot of pressure and I don't want to start bruising my thumb. So I advise using that. And I also advise making sure that this thing is it's straight. It can slant this way depending on where the bracket falls in there. I put it in a spot where it seems to be, you know, perfectly aligned with it, so it's not gonna slide either in or out. There it is. It is pretty snug. Let's hide it there. All right, guys, so I put it back on my desk and it's moment of truth. Let's see this thing don't catch fire. Oh, yeah, no. Looks pretty good. Let's see. But so far it looks pretty nice. It is controllable through the Evga. You can see here, let me change it to turn it off, turn it back on, color cycle. I mean, pretty much everything you can manipulate on the video card, you should have the same features on here since it uses the ARGB connection. So I'm gonna leave it on rainbow wave for now, just for presentation purposes. So there you have it, guys. Pretty good product for $15, not too pricey. There wasn't too many things to choose from out there in the market, so I went with this one. It had some good reviews. The company on some of the other brackets it produced had some pretty horrible reviews, but this one had a lot of on the positive side. It seemed like the design was pretty good, so I went with it. And we'll have to see later in a few weeks, months, how it turns out. Thank you guys for stopping by. I appreciate you watching. See you guys on the next one.